Gabby Hanna isn't a stranger to being talked about. Over the past few years, Gabby has been in so much drama with so many different people that it started to become what she's known for. She was once known for her messy story times, being in the Vlog Squad, and her music videos, but now most people know her for her drama. Since Gabby has been in so much drama with so many different people in such a short amount of time, the opinions on who's right, who started what, and who's the toxic one can quickly become overwhelming. Gabby slowly started to distance herself from her platform on YouTube, especially when she felt like she was being shadow banned. Back in 2020, Gabby got really mad because drama videos about her were coming up before her own videos in the search results. Her views were low, she wasn't getting a lot of engagement, making her believe she was shadow banned. That started the beginning of Gabby turning away from her YouTube platform. Right now, Gabby only has a handful of videos left on her channel. She still posts her music videos on there, but that's about it. She has started a few side channels where she attempted to do a video podcast, but that was short-lived as well. She's since opened up about her struggles with social media and the back and forth battle that she's been having over hating social media and wanting nothing to do with it, while also still needing social media to do what she loves. You see, Gabby needs her platforms to promote her music. Gabby isn't at the level yet where she can be a ghost on her platforms and still have hardcore dedicated fans waiting for her next release. I mean, I'm sure she does have that to some degree, but not enough to build the thriving music career that she really wants to have. Gabby wants to be able to focus on her music and not have to worry about the social media side. Unfortunately, that's just not real life, and I'm sure a lot of up-and-coming artists feel the same way. There's so much talent out there, and I'm sure some musicians rather be writing songs or practicing, but instead, they're at their day job working to hopefully make their dream a reality. Some of those artists could only wish to have the platform that Gabby does. Having a platform of people that already love you is a huge head start, but trying to get those people to follow you for something completely different is very difficult. Since Gabby realized that she actually does need social media to help her music career, she's moved over to TikTok.
If I set a boundary with you and you cross it, what happens from there on out is on you. I'm not taking responsibility for that shit. You lit a match, you're shocked there's fire. I'm not looking at you, I'm not talking about you, I'm not thinking about you, I'm not even smelling you. And then when I pop all the way the off, they're like, you're crazy, and I'm like, yeah. So why'd you fucking test me?
Now, her TikTok is a whole nother story. For example, a few weeks ago, Gabby started writing a song for Snoop Dogg and Britney Spears, tagging them in the videos and asking to collab.
Ready with me to write a song to pitch to Britney Spears? See me, you wanna be me, my name's in your mouth constantly. You chew it up and spit it out like gum. You're my biggest fan until you find out your man always thinks about me when it's time to. So don't try to put that shit on me. I'm not interested in insecurity. Baby, you'll never stop me. Love the view from the top. I promise to not make a penny off of this song if Britney Spears, when Britney Spears cuts it. Every cent that I make will go to any cause that Britney Spears chooses in perpetuity, years after all of us on this earth are alive.
Now, there's nothing wrong with dreaming big, but people just think Gabby is trying to use their names to push her music, specifically with Britney Spears. Britney just got out of a conservatorship. So many people have used Britney for fame and money over the course of her career. So for Gabby to come out and write a song with all these personal lyrics and try and claim that it's about Britney's life just didn't sit right with people. Gabby also posted a TikTok saying she's come to the realization that she's famous. She said her name makes people money, it gets people clicks, and it makes people go viral.
The realization that really changed me, I have a lot of them, but I never realized how famous I am. Because I've always been really hard on myself. I don't have very high self-esteem, really struggle with imposter syndrome. Like up until this year, I did not know I was successful. I didn't realize that I was a celebrity.
And people did not agree with Gabby. Someone said, I can't tell if this is a joke or not. So humble, so kind. And Gabby actually responded to this one and said, both. You can be humble and kind and also state facts. I'm not saying I'm better than anyone or entitled to anything, but actually, I'm famous. But the most backlash Gabby has received on TikTok recently was about how to cure depression. Gabby titled the video, "Life-Changing Tip to Overcome Depression Forever." In this video, Gabby goes on about how everyone's so depressed because we don't have hobbies.
Listen up! This advice is about to change your life! I have the ick. This tip is not just for overcoming depression. This is gonna get you excited to wake up every day. It's 10:30. I just got up. Neither here nor there! Bitch, gotta get a hobby. Better get a hobby! A lot of them. Just one at a time, but in your head, if you have so many hobbies that you're excited about, do you ever scroll TikTok and go, I want to do that? I just saw a guy make a rug. He just made it. That's awesome. He just has like a little rug studio. I think it was in his house. I want to set up a little rug making studio in my house. That is sick. I want to write murder mystery novels because I'm really, really paranoid. And the scenarios that I come up with in my brain are bestsellers. Timeless classics. How can I possibly be sad when I haven't even started my Nancy Drew era yet? How can I be sad when I've never made a rug yet? I haven't started crafting jewelry yet. Sure as have not tried any water sports, and I sure never will, but you might want to. You're sitting there depressed. You've never gotten on a jet ski and you want to? You got nothing to live for? You've never jumped out of a plane? I'm not gonna do it. You might want to do that though. You're sitting here like, I don't want to live, and you want to parasail and you've never go parasail! I think I'm not gonna be a gourmet chef. I got a lifetime left of hobbies. Get you a hobby. You'll never be sad again.
Gabby got so much backlash for this TikTok. People were saying it was extremely privileged for her to think not only that depression would be cured thanks to hobbies, but that everyone in the world can just afford to go out and do whatever hobby interests them. One person said, "So I can be sad about not being able to afford the hobby instead?" And Gabby replied, "That's facts. I started with and still use very cheap paint. Beginner supplies usually aren't too bad. Lots of hobbies like sketching can be started really cheaply. Finding thrift items to flip is a good start too. Would love to get a hobby, but unfortunately I've got to pay my bills and have to work 16 hours a day." And Gabby replied with something very condescending, writing, "Damn sis, you got time to watch and comment on TikToks, but you can't learn an instrument or how to knit? That's a you choice, my friend. This would be amazing advice if everyone had unlimited funds to do those fun things." And Gabby said, "You don't need unlimited funds to get a hobby. Bro, I have 2 jobs and I'm a full-time college student. I don't have time to go jump out of a plane." And Gabby said, "Do you have time to learn how to draw or anything else besides watch TikTok when you're not working or studying?" I say these things, then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm broke. And Gabby replied, "Paper and pencils/pens are cheap. Don't gotta start with professional materials. Most people don't. Michaels usually has coupons and deals. I have a job." And Gabby said, "Me too. Since I was 13. Always have had hobbies. Stop limiting yourself." So Gabby's main response to all of these comments were that people were on TikTok, so they must have time for a hobby. But being on TikTok is way different than taking up a hobby. Some people might be on TikTok during their lunch break, resting before bed, or even on their way to school. You can't exactly learn how to play piano or join soccer in that very moment. Some people just like to quickly open TikTok to relax, take a moment for themselves, and take a second away from their busy day. Another argument that Gabby had was that hobbies don't have to be expensive. She said you can go and do things really cheaply like thrifting art supplies or buying cheap paint. But not everyone's hobby is art. What if your hobby was like hockey and you really wanted to join a hockey team with your friends? All of their parents could afford hockey, but hockey is really expensive and yours couldn't. Sure, you could try and save up and buy a secondhand stick and play on open rinks or outside on the road, but it's not exactly the same. Like one example that Gabby made in her video was that she saw some guy making rugs and she really wants to do that. Does she even know how expensive that would be to start? Not every hobby is as easy as running to Dollarama and buying cheap paint and paper. Even at that, a lot of people live paycheck to paycheck and have every last penny planned out. Her guide to curing depression just goes to show how entitled being an influencer and having access to these things has made her. Not to mention, most people with depression lose interest in their hobbies. That's literally one of the main signs of depression. Gabby ended up responding to all the backlash with another TikTok captioned, "Tired of people mistaking privilege with hard work and determination. Not everyone who's successful is privileged. I could have easily stayed in the system. I chose to leave the corporate world and pave my own path. You can too if you want to."
Choosing to respond to this comment instead of one of the comments saying that I'm privileged for telling people to raise their quality of life, that they should pick up a hobby or follow their passions. Because exactly this. First of all, you don't have to have money to have a hobby. A lot of hobbies don't require a lot up front. A lot of supplies are really cheap. Pencils, pens, and paper are cheap. Paint, like literally dollar a bottle paint. That's what I still paint with now. There's a ton of find at thrift stores, discount stores. You can thrift flip, or if you really can't afford anything, you can find something that costs literally $0. That's the beauty of creativity. Now, when it comes to people saying, well, I have a job, I don't have time for that, you're commenting on TikTok. Get it the together. Stop making excuses for your miserable lifestyle and create a good lifestyle. The whole point of life is to enjoy it. If you choose to spend your spare time scrolling on TikTok, commenting on other people's life when they're giving you advice to live the life that you want to live, which is apparently I don't work and I have unlimited time and funds to do all my hobbies. Okay, do you want that life? Then follow my advice. Get your ass off of TikTok in your spare time, or don't. That's perfectly fine. Because guess what? Scrolling TikTok is a perfectly acceptable hobby. But don't get mad at somebody else for trying to encourage you to follow your dreams because you don't have the balls or drive to do it.
And the comments weren't any better on this one. One person said, "Okay, but what about time? Try telling someone who works 12-hour days every day to take up a hobby." The idea of just getting up and doing what you want is kind of ableist, to be honest. Not everyone has the mental or physical ability to follow their dreams. And Gabby responded to this comment with another TikTok talking about people who are successful despite their disabilities.
I once saw a makeup artist with no hands beat his entire face better than I ever could with his feet. My good friend Molly Burke, blind as a bat. She loves makeup, fashion, home decor. There are people with no legs competing in professional worldwide sports in the Olympics. Wasn't Beethoven deaf?
Once again, comments on this one weren't any better. One person said, "Finding hobbies you like is immensely easier if you're able-bodied and well off with money." And Gabby replied, "Y'all keep saying easier. That's the issue with a lot of people's mindsets. They only want what's easy. Nothing worth having is easy for anyone." Just kind of completely missing the point that everyone was trying to make. There's nothing wrong with suggesting that someone takes up a hobby to try and help their mental health, but to imply that people are depressed because they take the easy way out and spend their free time on TikTok versus a hobby is just so wrong. Hobbies take a lot of mental capacity. The capacity that not a lot of people have at the end of a busy workday. Not everyone has the luxury of picking and choosing what days to have off and not post a video and just go smoke weed and paint all day. That's a luxury that Gabby has, and one day that luxury could be gone. Gabby made a point of saying that she chose to leave the corporate world and pursue her dreams. But that's not exactly true. Gabby got really lucky on social media, just like most influencers do. Gabby got in early, she got in with the right people, she was able to make a career for herself online, which is not the option most people have, and Gabby herself might not have that luxury one day. Social media fame can come and go so fast, and Gabby is lucky to still have the following that she does. But with how fast the internet moves, who knows what could happen in 5-10 years from now. Anyways guys, let me know what you think about everything down below. Do you think Gabby's TikToks are really out of touch with reality? Or do you think people are just looking for things to get mad over? Let me know, and I'll see you next time.